infiltrated your city. Because technically, I'm based at the University of Stirling. But my heart, and more importantly for the next 3 years, my PhD, are based in Dundee. You see, I work at the Wellgate Library, and I rifle through about 500 boxes of archive material to find out what was going on with poetry and song in Victorian Dundee. So you're laughing at that already. I know what you're thinking. Victorian Dundee, home to the worst poet in the English-speaking world, William Topaz McGonagall, who incidentally came to poetry quite late in his life. And he was inspired by this voice he heard calling from the heavens, "Write, write." I have one of them as well. I call her my supervisor. But there's a lot more than William McGonagall going on in Victorian Dundee. Loads of people wrote poems into the newspapers on the big issues of the day, which turned out to be love, politics, and baked goods. But they didn't just publish any old shite. I mean, if you think Reviewer 2 is bad, you should try submitting to the People's Journal in 1875. Your attempt to introduce Loch Gelly as a rhyme in a love song was brave but futile. And your other little poem, entitled Too Bad, is just entirely so. But we still live with the legacy of this fantastic body of Victorian Dundee poetry, because one of the publications that was set up in these times was the People's Friend. And yeah, I see some of you know it, but to those who are fortunate enough not to have encountered this, it's the very definition of couthy. But it started off as a fairly socialist publication. I mean, the name comes from a saying that the printing press should be a voice for the working class, the tyrant's foe and the people's friend. And if you pick up an issue of this today, it's basically fanfiction.net for aging Queen Mother enthusiasts. But the People's Friend is actually coming up to its 150th anniversary. So I think it's about time that they looked back to their socialist roots for inspiration. They could have articles such as 10 charming toilet roll covers to knit while you're in jail for sedition. Eat the rich in an easy-to-make Madeira sauce. The revolution will be serialized with cool watercolor illustrations. Now, the streets of Dundee were also full of people singing from Broadsides. And Broadsides were basically the Victorian internet. They're where you go if you want sex, murders, and completely context-free pictures of animals. And, if you will, picture a scene. It's a busy printing office in bustling industrial Dundee. A young poet runs in, full of the muse. I'll sing ye a song if you listen, as the time it does glide fast awa. It was composed by me, and the title will be It's No the Clean Tatty of A. Sounds good, son. So it's about potatoes, yeah? No. It's a political metaphor for the struggle of the working classes against the corrupt council and the bosses. Well, that was definitely going to be my next guess. So do you want an illustration for this? Yes. Put a fox on it. So, now we know the answer to that age-old question. What does the fox say? The fox says, support the railway strikers. That's what the fox says. But even in amongst all of these varied topics, it always comes back to scones and butter and other bakery items. There are many poems celebrating pie shops. In fact, in Dundee we actually have a word for this genre. We call it petry. We joke for the Dundonians in the audience there. And there's another fantastic broadside which describes the Duke of Argyll going to the Carsagowry dairy with the Lassabalach Mile, whoever she may be. And his heart got in a flutter when he got a scone and butter. That's birthing the sconuendo genre. Politics even comes in here though. Creme de la creme are you, sweet Tory lords. The very pink o' lacteal oil, creamy Tory lords. But some do speak a different way. You're no even honest milk, they say, but just a blash o' blinket way, sour Tory lords. So that's them telt. But my job is to figure out what on earth does this all mean? And it's actually quite tricky for me, because I'm used to using oral history methodology. So I'm used to being able to go and interview folk about their strange cultural practices. And it's a lot harder when they all died by 1903. But luckily for me, I live in a haunted flat. It's haunted by the ghosts of some anonymous maids who organised for the trade unions. And it's got one of these wee blue plaques outside. These are for where the ghosts are, right? That is what that means. So my thesis is going to be the first to contain material recorded from interviews conducted by Ouija board. Is there anybody out there? Can you tell me? What are you on about? Not once for it's a political metaphor. Not twice for who the hell should I ken? I was pushed. Yeah, I'm just kidding about that. I mean, my Ouija board days are long behind me.
Have you filled out the relevant ethics form?
Yes. But my Ouija board days are something that I have had a bit of experience in, so I know what I'm doing, thank you. I was, you see, a spooky wee goth in my teenage years. And we used to hang about in graveyards, as you do, because we're really spooky. And looking back on these days, it's actually no surprise that I ended up doing what I'm doing now. Because, you see, I was always the one shouting, oh, you can't graffiti on that gravestone, that's like really important historical evidence from 1682. And when the ghost tour guides came round, we would take the piss out of them because obviously we were the coolest people in the universe sitting there in freezing cold mud drinking Buckfast. And everyone would be laughing at their outfits. And I'd want to shout something along the lines of, "Oi! Your version of history is ignoring significant archaeological evidence. I mean, nice half, Fanny Boss." Thank you very much.